Yashodhan Prajajana Jan Yashodhan Prajajana Jana Yamun Vidavana Yamun Vidavana Yamuna Tiravana Yamuna Tiravana Srila Prabhupada ki
Still live stream. Stop here, right? So I shut off from those. We should not. Yeah, that should not be. No, that is. So that was also live streaming. So that is why so very good.
Thank you. Hare Krishna, dear devotees. We will begin with the invocation prayers known as Mangala Charana prayers. Before doing any spiritual activity, we sincerely seek the blessings of our spiritual master, our founder Acharya Srila Prabhupada, and the Supreme Lordship Sri Nitai Patita Pavan Gaurari, Sri Sri Radha Gopijana Vallabha. Please join in unison. We will sing. Om Ajnana-timirandasya Jnananjana Salakaya Chakshu Militam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Shri Chaitanya Vishtam Sthapitam Yena Uttare Swayam Rupa Mayam Tadadi Swadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Kamalam Shri Guru Vaishnavamsya Shri Rupam Sankaratam Sarganam Gadunadam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadukam सहितं कृष्ण चैतन्य एवं श्री राधा कृष्ण सदगना ललिता गिरिजान्वितांश्च हे कृष्णा करुणा सिन्धु दीनबन्धो जगत्पते गोपेक्षा गोपिका कान्त राधा कान्त तुते तप्त काञ्चन गौराङ्गी राधे वृन्दावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि प्रिये वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः नमो विष्णुपादाय कृष्णप्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्त स्वामिनिति नामिने नमस्ते सरस्वती देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेषशून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देशतारिणे जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौरभक्तवृंद हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे Hare Krishna dear devotees, welcome to ISKCON Farming Tunnel Sunday Feast program. We'll be discussing from a wonderful verse from Bhagavad Gita, which many of you may know this verse. This is one of the most popular verses. In Bhagavad Gita, there are about 700 verses, which are very nicely categorized by Srila Vyasadeva into 18 chapters. There are about 700 verses. All the 700 verses are important. Among them, 108 verses are considered very important. And some of the verses like this, they are considered most important. So before beginning with this, Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Om Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
I sincerely seek the blessings of all the assembled Vaishnavas here. And thank you, Shyam Kishore Prabhuji, for the opportunity to discuss. Thank you. And devotees in Zoom, I hope you can hear me as well. See me also and see the screen. ये यथा मां प्रपद्यन्ते तंस्तथैव भजाम्यहम् मम वर्तन्ते मनुष्या पार्थ सर्वशः ये यथा प्रपद्यन्ते तंस्तथैव भजाम्यहम् मम वर्त्मानुवर्तन्ते मनुष्या पार्थ सर्वशः. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace Srila A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada ki jai. As all surrender unto me, I reward them accordingly. Everyone follows my path in all respects, O son of Pratha. We have very wonderful purport. I would like two Prabhus and two Madajis to take turn. And whenever you see underlined sentences, you please repeat them once. Is that okay? We'll begin with two Prabhus. Anyone volunteer?
Everyone is searching for Krishna in the different aspects of his manifestations. Krishna, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, is partially realized in his impersonal Brahman Jyoti effulgence, and as the all-pervading super soul dwelling within everything, including the particles of forms. But Krishna is fully realized only by his few devotees. Consequently, Krishna is the object of everyone's realization, and thus anyone and everyone is satisfied according to one's desire to have him. In the transcendental world also, Krishna reciprocates with his few devotees in the transcendental attitude, just as the devotee wants him. Hare Krishna.
Thank you.
One devotee may want Krishna as Supreme Master, another as his personal friend, another as his son, and still another as his lover. Krishna rewards all the devotees equally according to their different intensities of love for him. I repeat again, Krishna rewards all the devotees equally according to their different intensities of love for him. In the material world, the same reciprocations of feelings are there, and they are equally exchanged by the Lord with the different types of worshippers. The pure devotees, both here and in the transcendental abode, associate with him in person and are able to render personal service to the Lord, and thus derive transcendental bliss in his loving service. As for those who are impersonalists and who want to commit spiritual suicide by annihilating the individual existence of the living entity, Krishna helps also by absorbing them into his effulgence.
Vaishnavis.
Such impersonalists do not agree to accept the eternal, blissful personality of God. Consequently, they cannot relish the bliss of transcendental personal service to the Lord, having extinguished their individuality. Some of them, who are not firmly situated even in the impersonal existence, return to this material field to exhibit their dormant desires for activities. They are not admitted into the spiritual planets, but they are again given a chance to act on material planets. For those who are free workers, the Lord awards the desired results of their prescribed duties as the Yagneshwar, and those who are yogis seeking mystic powers are awarded such powers. In other words, everyone is dependent for success on his mercy alone, and all kinds of spiritual processes are but different degrees of success on the same path. Unless, therefore, one comes to the highest perfection of Krishna consciousness, all attempts remain imperfect. Everyone is dependent for success on his mercy alone, and all kinds of spiritual processes are but different degrees of success on the same path. Unless, therefore, one comes to the highest perfection of Krishna consciousness, all attempts remain. As is stated in the Srimad Bhagavatam 2.3.10, Akama Sarvagama Shakama Utharati whether one is without desire, the condition of the devotees, or is desirous of all worthy results, or is after liberation, one should, with all efforts, try to worship the Supreme Personality of Godhead, complete perfection, culminating in Krishna consciousness.
Sincerely seek the blessings of all the devotees here, so in the Zoom, who all are far more advanced than me. I'm fully convinced of that. So please bless me and empower me to discuss this wonderful verse. And I have a mark here on my left hand. When I was about 2 or 3 years old, my parent literally punished, and I have that mark. That's because I have an elder sister. Once, in some anger, I bit her. So my parents gave such nice punishment that I still have the mark. But that day I decided not to bite anyone. So those of you sitting behind, don't worry. I've taken a vow not to bite anyone. You can come forward, feel comfortable.
We'll use this analogy every time.
Yeah.
So please feel comfortable. We are reading a very important verse. This verse appears in the 4th chapter of Bhagavad Gita. Bhagavad Gita has 18 chapters. The 4th chapter is known as Transcendental Knowledge, Jnana Yoga. And I asked devotees to repeat the very, very important jewels in the purport. Every word of Prabhupada is a gem. And these are beautiful jewels. How Prabhupada brings this wonderful points for us so that it registers in our mind. He says it very succinctly. Krishna is fully realized only by his pure devotees. And Krishna is the object of everyone's realization. Thus, anyone and everyone is satisfied according to one's desire to have him. And the translation for this verse, as we know, as we surrender, and Krishna rewards accordingly. So Krishna rewards all the devotees equally according to their different intensities of love for him. So Krishna is impartial, but he is reciprocal. Reciprocal in the sense how much you do and you get in multiply, literally in such an abundance of multiplication from him. And everyone is dependent for success upon his mercy alone. We all are depending on Krishna's mercy alone. And a very important point, many of us came from different paths, spiritual paths. But Krishna makes it very clear. All of them are not different path. They're all different degrees of this, same path. So Krishna mentions very nicely in Bhakti Yoga, especially in the 12th chapter of Bhagavad Gita, when we study, we will clearly understand all the other processes, spiritual process, they're nothing but different rungs of the spiritual ladder, yoga ladder. So, unless, therefore, one comes to the highest perfection of Krishna consciousness, all attempts remain imperfect. What does that mean? That means we may be in different levels, different paths. But one has to come to Krishna consciousness to achieve the highest perfection. And that is the words of, divine words of the Supreme Lord. Because every yoga process culminates in Krishna consciousness. From there, we can go to the highest levels of bhakti. Okay. This verse brings this word surrender, right? We all know what is the word surrender means. Many of us have understood the word surrender, but surrender is a heavily loaded word. Sharanagati. Sharanagati is a very heavily loaded word and it's a journey, it's a process. It doesn't happen just once. It can happen, but you need to keep doing it. We need to keep doing the surrender. And if you see in Veda base or if you see in Bhagavad Gita, there are 14 places you will see the word surrender. Prapadye, Prapadyante, Sharanam, Sharanam Gacha, like this, different words are given. So surrender, we know from the, lotus lips of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. In Sanatana Shiksha, he brings this beautiful verse from Hari Bhakti Vilas. We know all of us know this verse, right? Anya Vilashita Shunyam, Anukulyasya Sankalpa Pratikulasya Varjanam Rakshashyat iti Vishwaso Gopritve Varanam Tata Atmanikshepa Karpanye Sadvida Sharanagatihi. He says the 6 divisions of surrender. These 6 divisions of surrender, which includes Anukulasya Sankalpa, means accepting everything that is favorable for one's bhakti. And Pratikulasya Varjanam, rejecting everything that is not favorable. And then Raksish yat iti vishwaso. One should have a complete faith and conviction that Krishna will give protection. And fourth one, Goptrutve Varanam Tata, Goptrutve, a guardian. And Varanam is acceptance. One should accept that the Supreme Lord is our guardian or master. And Atma Niksheba, self-surrender, full surrender. That means whatever Krishna desires, we act on it. We don't have any separate desire from Krishna. That's what is self-surrender. And Karpanya is humility. These are the 6 divisions of surrender. When somebody, one has to have all these 6 boxes checked. One has to have all 6 aspects of surrender. Then one can, with lot of confidence, can say that, yes, I'm in the process of surrender. That is the reason, in spiritual paths, we have regulations. Regulations are to work on these. Coming back to the point, once anyone surrenders, Krishna says in the last, almost towards the end of the 18th chapter, 1866, he says, Ma Suchaha, you don't have to worry, because when you surrender to Krishna alone, he says, Sarvadharman Parityajya, Mamekam Sharanam Aham Tum Sarupape. He will remove all the miseries, all the sinful reactions. And he says, don't fear. When we think about, do we have any other options? Actually speaking, no. Because Krishna says in 7:14, Daivihesha gunamayi mama maya duratyaya mam evaye prabhadyante mayam etam tarantite. Because we all heard this word Maya, means that which is not. Everyone knows, yes, we are struggling because of Maya. But that Maya is also divine energy of Krishna. And it is very difficult to overcome. And only way is Mam evaye prapadyante. Krishna says, only if you surrender, then Mayam etam tarantite. You can cross over this Maya without much difficulty. It is much easier. And for that, to surrender to Krishna, we also need to know Krishna. Who is Krishna, right? And not just knowing. Knowing Krishna is one thing, and developing love for Krishna is much higher level. And only by developing love for Krishna, one can understand Krishna, right? Krishna is very, very mysterious. And Krishna's pastimes are very sweet. The more and more we hear Krishna's pastimes, we develop attraction for the pastime. Once we develop attraction, the next step is to develop love for it. Only by then we can understand Krishna. And Prabhupada made it very clearly. You have to have the association of pure devotees. Only when you hear from them, you can understand what Krishna consciousness is or who is Krishna is. And let's start with a wonderful pastime. This pastime was told by, very nicely narrated by His Holiness Radha Govinda Goswami Maharaj. Radha Govinda Goswami Maharaj very beautifully described this. We all know Krishna swallowed forest fire twice, right? First one, right after the Kaliya pastime, because they were very tired. So they were resting on the banks of Yamuna. And then at that time, a forest fire came and Krishna swallowed the forest fire. Everybody was saved. And second time, after killing Pralambasura pastimes chapter, the next chapter, again comes forest fire. Krishna, along with all his coward friends, they went to the, forest, Munchakaranya forest. So in that forest, Krishna was there along with all the coward boyfriends and cows and calves. They were very nicely herding them. And suddenly, the coward boyfriends, they screamed at Krishna, look at there. There is a huge forest fire is coming. Please help us. Krishna, Krishna, Mahavira. Please help us. And they use the word, we take shelter of you. Please save us. And Krishna, what did Krishna say? Very nicely, no? It is totally unexpected. Generally, we don't expect this. Krishna said, don't worry, my friends. I'll take care of it. Close your eyes. Think about it. You are in the middle of the fire. And when the fire brigade comes and says that, don't worry, just close your eyes and settle down. We'll take care. But that is the time you need to be more vigilant. But Krishna said, close your eyes. Because they were surrendered, they didn't ask any question. How is this logically that if we close our eyes, this will happen? They never asked such question. They immediately closed their eyes. No questions asked. When Krishna lifted Govardhan with his left pinky finger, no one said, Krishna, you're only 7. how is that, you're going to keep this huge mountain on your balancing on the pinky finger? We have some doubts. Nobody, immediately they followed. That is the symptom of surrender. So here in the situation, the forest fire, everybody closed their eyes. And that, only one boy, that happens usually, right? His name is Mansukh. Mansukh, he actually did like this. I just want to see what Krishna is doing. Because Krishna is the master of all mistakes. So it will be so amazing to see what is he going to do. So he just sit like this and he was trying to see. And Krishna immediately gathered all the forest fire and he was literally swallowing it. And the forest fire were growing inside Krishna's mouth. When he was seeing like this, then Mansukh became, Krishna is doing such amazing thing. And after seeing that, Krishna swallowed the forest fire and then he woke up all the boys. He said, come on, let's get up. Let's start with our herding. And this Mansukh said, now I have to go and tell Mother Yashoda, because let's get Krishna into trouble. This Krishna, he swallowed this forest fire. Krishna is Krishna. He knows, okay, this Mansukh is going to Mother Yashoda. Krishna immediately went right to Mother Yashoda and said, Maya, Maya, I'm very hungry now. Please give me hot milk. I said, Krishna, you just had breakfast. Maya, I'm hungry. Please give me hot milk. Sure. Then she kept, that Padmagandha milk, hot milk. She started boiling the milk. And she kept it to the nice, we know, right? Mother knows exactly what is the exact temperature we need. So she kept it in such a way and gave it to Krishna. Krishna, please take it. And Krishna, as soon as he took the cup to his mouth, he said, Mother, I burnt my tongue. Why is it so hot? Make it cold again. Then Mother said, we know how to aerate it, right? So she just did it and made it cold. Now Krishna, take it. Now it's cold. And he did. Again took a sip and said, Mother, it's still hot. Please take it and make it cold again. Like this, he went on 3-4 times. Mother said, what, Krishna? I gave you in a right temperature. Why are you saying that it is hot? And she made it more colder, almost on the room temperature, and gave it to Krishna. And Krishna said, now it is fine. And he drank it. And then he gave the cup back and said, Mother, I have to go and play with my friends now. Let me go. Then Krishna ran immediately. Within few minutes, our friend Mansukh, Mother, I have something to tell you. What? You know Krishna? Yes, I know Krishna. You know Krishna? He actually swallowed forest fire. What? We had a huge forest fire in the forest and Krishna swallowed all the forest fire. Mother Yashoda looked at him. What? Just now, that same little Krishna, he had such a hard time drinking milk. And he kept on saying it's hot and hot and hot. And you are saying he swallowed the forest fire? Don't waste my time. Get lost. Mansukh was wondering, why is Mother Yashoda saying like this? I don't know. Maybe. Then he just came back to Krishna. And Krishna gave a very cheeky smile. Mansukh, I know what you did. And Mansukh also understood, oh, Krishna, this is all your Leela. This is just one glimpse of the sweetness of Krishna's pastimes. And that keeps continuing. If someone surrenders to Krishna, the benefit is beyond our imagination. Krishna not only protected them from forest fire, in many situations, demon after demons, Krishna kept on protecting them. And that Leela still continues. Even now, when devotees surrender to our Srila Prabhupada, who is the founder Acharya, the results we can see. We have literally infinite number of pastimes and stories of how Krishna mysteriously worked and protected them. Many of you might have heard about Dhanavir Goswami Maharaj. Dhanavir Goswami Maharaj is one of the senior most disciple of Srila Prabhupada. And Dhanavir Goswami Maharaj, he did his undergraduation from UCLA, one of the prestigious college, right? And then he did his PhD. He is very highly qualified and he completely surrendered to Srila Prabhupada. And in the 80s, in 1987, he became a spiritual master. So he was sent to Israel, right? Israel is one country where there is conflict most of the times, right? So he was preaching, he was doing that service in Israel. What happened? At that time, they also had a conflict. There was a war. And Maharaj is from America. Right now, Dandir Gosai Maharaj is in UMKC, University of Missouri, Kansas City. He has a beautiful temple there and he does amazing services and he travels around Rupanuga Vedic village, many of you might have heard. And such glorious is Maharaj's services. He has many disciples. So Maharaj went to Israel in the 80s. At that time, war came. So the government, Israel government announced, whoever is here, doesn't matter whether you are Israeli or whatever, you all have to come for the war. So Maharaj was from America. So he also had to go. Think about it. You went for a service. But now you are literally forced, drafted into the war. So Maharaj didn't have any choice. And Maharaj had a wonderful friend who was a lawyer. He said, Maharaj, don't worry. In Israel government, they have some, good understanding that, whoever follows religion, in a very nice way, they allow them to practice their own religion and they give some time. So Maharaj, you can ask. So Maharaj went to the commanding officer and said, excuse me, sir, I'm a Hare Krishna. I have a daily routines of my spiritual practices. Please allow me some time every day. And the commanding officer asked, so how long do you want every day? Maharaj said 6 hours. What did you say? 6 hours. What will you do in 6 hours? I'll wake up early in the morning and then I take a bath. And then after cleaning myself, I wake up the Lordships. Then I sing Mangala Arati prayers. I offer Arati. In Arati, there are 7 items. And then after that, I sing Narshinga prayers. And I sit and chant Japa for 2 hours. And then, I do worship my spiritual master, Guru Puja. Then again, I offer 7 items to my spiritual master. And then I do, bathe my Lord, then dress my Lord, then do Aarti for him. Then I cook wonderful bhoga for him. Then I offer to him. And then I will also have Srimad Bhagavatam speaking. Since I am the only person, I will speak and I will hear. So, and then in this way, he said whatever he is doing every day, the whole morning program. And this takes about 6 hours. And the commanding officer, he couldn't say anything, he allowed. So Maharaj was there in a dormitory where all the soldiers were there. And he was doing all his daily practices every day. And everyone was so amazed. This person is so sincere and practicing it so nicely right from the early morning. And there were some envious people. They went to the commanding officer and said, Officer, why are you being so partial? Why are you allowing only this? Dhanavir Goswami, 6 hours every day. Why are you not allowing us? We also want to practice our religion and please allow us. He said, what do you want to do? How long do you want? Same like him, 6 hours. What will you do in 6 hours? Tell me. You don't have anything more than 15 minutes. How will you come back again? You have nothing. He's so sincere. He wakes up and the morning itself, he starts jumping up and down. And then he just goes circles around with his incense, then with his lamps. And then he sits and chants, meditates for 2 hours. And then he bathes the Lord. Then he dresses the Lord. What will you do? You have nothing for more than 15 minutes. Maximum 15 minutes. Get lost. So he was allowed. And then the officer came and told him, see, some people are getting disturbed here. So now I'll give you a separate room. So you get an individual room and then you do your practice. So first of all, he got 6 hours. Now he got a separate room. Maharaj was very happy. And after this routine, the brigadier, the higher officer, above this commanding officer, brigadier general, he had a meeting and he was actually explaining how one should fight. He was giving a lot of strategies and tips. So at that time, he was asking so many questions, what you need to do, because many of them don't have any training about battling. So when he was saying, he looked at Maharaj and said, hey, you, tell me, what will you do if someone comes with a gun and attacks you? Everybody was looking at him. What reply he gave? He said, I raise my head and chant, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Hare Hare. What? You will raise your hand and chant Hare Krishna? And that is an opportunity. Maharaj explained why he would do that. And he went on. Then he said, what if you get killed? Maharaj asked the next question, which is our favorite question. Who is killed? The body is anyway dead. The soul never dies. Then who is killed? This brigadier general got confused. Okay, class dismissed. We'll talk about it later, so you all can go back. Then he came to Maharaj and said, please tell me what is the answer for the question. That's it. We all know, right? From Bhagavad Gita, chapter 2, verse number 11 to 30. All about souls and souls characteristics. And that same brigadier general, in few years, he became initiated disciple of His Holiness Dhanavir Goswami Maharaj. You understand? Because Dhanavir Goswami Maharaj, he was not perturbed. It's a very difficult to understand. Israel war is not an easy thing. It's a serious war. But Maharaj was not disturbed. Since he is fully surrendered to Srila Prabhupada, who is a pure devotee, he has nothing to fear. And everything went in his favor. And whatever purpose he went to preach, and even the brigadier general became his initiated devotees. And that is how, in this surrender, let us clearly understand there is no loss. Krishna says that in Bhagavad Gita, right? Very famous was Neha Bhikramanashosti Prativayona Vidyate. Swalpam apiyasya dharmasya trayate mahato bhayat. Even if you do little bit, Krishna will protect you from great danger. Then what about devotees who are surrendering themselves? Krishna will give all protection, right? Complete protection. Coming back to the verse, when we talk about surrender, as I mentioned in 7:14, Krishna says, there is no other way. You have to surrender to Krishna. Then you can cross over this Maya. And Krishna in the next set of verses, 7:15 to 7:14 is this. 7:15 is Namam Duskritno Muda. What is that? Prabhadyante Naradama. Then Mayaya Apahrita Jnana Asuram Bhavam Ashita. Krishna says the four kind of miscreants, they don't surrender. Who are they? Muda, grossly foolish, who just think that just by working my life is successful. Grossly foolish, just like the donkey story we always hear, right? A carrot is hung, the donkey keeps walking. So grossly foolish, Muda. And then Naradama. Nara Adama. Adama means lowest of mankind. We are not talking about birth at all. Krishna doesn't care about the birth. He only talks about the qualities or characters. The character, if it is low in quality, just like animalistic nature, that is Naradama. And then the third one who don't surrender to Krishna is Maya Apahrita Jnana. Maya Apahrita Jnana means those who have some knowledge, like philosophers, scientists, but their knowledge is covered by illusion. Apahrita. This Maya literally, covers their intelligence. And they are known as Maya Apahrita Jnana. And the last one is Asura. Asuras are, and we might think Asura means they should have a sharp teeth, horns. No, not necessarily. Asura means anyone who doesn't believe in God, who thinks God doesn't exist, this world is for my enjoyment. That is Asuric mentality. And another thing, Asura or Asura, Asu means they want immediate gratification. Everything they want it immediately, then and there, and it's only for me. That is called Asuric mentality. So we need not have horns, but if we have this mentality, then I come under the category of Asura. So these four people, Buddha, Naradama, Maya, Apahrita Jnana, and Asura, they don't surrender. Then the very next verse, Krishna says, Chaturvida bhajante mam. Come on. What is the next one? Please. Jana, Sukritino Arjuna, then Artho, Jignasu, Artharthi, Jnanicha, Bharatarshava. So he says four people will surrender to Krishna. Who are they? Artho, Jignasu, Artharthi, Jnani. We know what is Artho. Artho means anyone who is in distress. They will surrender to Krishna. And Jignasu, who is inquisitive. And Artharthi, who is in desirous of wealth, who wants money. And Jnani, who seeks the knowledge of the absolute truth. We can all think about it. It's a very beautiful verse to meditate. You can think about each aspect and we can think about a personality who did that. Let's think about, for Artho, in distress, who surrendered to Krishna in their distress? Any examples? Gajendra. Anyone else? Draupadi Mata. Anyone else? Uttara. Yes. Kunti Maharani. All these personalities in distress, they didn't go to anyone. They didn't call 911. They call for Krishna. Gajendra, call for Krishna. Right? And Draupadi Mata, call for Krishna. And next one is Jignasu. Jignasu are inquisitive. Any example for Jignasu? Yes? Anyone else? Four Kumaras and Shaunakali Rishis. They were also inquisitive initially. And later, everybody became, even Parikshit Maharaj, all of them, initially inquisitive, later everybody became pure devotees. The third one is Artharthi, desire of wealth. Yes,
Dhruva.
we have classic example, Dhruva Maharaj. Dhruva Maharaj wanted a kingdom bigger than his great-grandfather. Who is his great-grandfather? Brahmaji. And bigger than his great-grandfather he wanted. And what did Krishna do? Krishna not only purified his desire, he also gave a planet which is better than Brahmaloka, Dhruvaloka. And he made Dhruva Maharaj as a pure devotee. Right? And the fourth one is Jnani. What are the examples for Jnani? One who is real seeker and one who has the knowledge. Sukadev Goswami, four Kumaras again, Prahlad Maharaj, all of them are these examples, right? And all these personalities, or these four categories, they surrendered to Krishna. And we need to be very aware. All of them had a pure devotee guiding them. All of them. Invariably, everyone. Dhruva Maharaj had Narad Muni guiding him. Prahlad Maharaj, Narad Muni guiding him. Sukadev Goswami, Vyasadev guiding him. Everywhere. That's why Prabhupada says, if you want to get purified and get the ultimate perfection, we need the mercy of pure devotees. That's why Krishna said, Tadvati Pranipadena Pariprashnena Sevaya. Patyanchada Jnanam Jnaninas Tattva Darshanaha. Because the spiritual masters, the pure devotees, they have seen the truth. So when you approach submissively and inquire from them submissively, they will impart the knowledge through which we can go to the next level. And the pure devotee gurus, they guide you at every level. And if we think, why do I need to do it? Why can't I do it with my intelligence? Let's be mindful. Our intelligence is material. How can you achieve something that is spiritual using a material thing? It's not possible, right? You cannot measure the weight with a ruler. Isn't it? If I say, what is your weight? Take this ruler and measure your weight. Sorry, not possible. Because that is not meant for that. Correct? So you need a proper apparatus for proper measurement. Similarly, to achieve something spiritual, we need spiritual. We cannot do it with our material intelligence. Our body is made of what? Panchabhutas. What are they? Earth, water, air, fire, ether. Panchabhutas. Our body is made of all these five elements. Think about Brahmaji. Brahmaji is our Sampradaya Acharya, right? And Brahmaji, we are in the Brahma Madhva Gaudiya Sampradaya, who is our Sampradaya Acharya, who is a pure devotee. And what is his body made of? Intelligence. His body is not made of like earth, water, fire, or ether. His body is fully made of intelligence. And that Brahmaji also had one-time difficulty understanding Krishna. Isn't it? It was bewildering for him also. Krishna very nicely orchestrated this pastime using his pure devotee Brahmaji. And how? That starts from Agasur's pastime, right? Agasur, think about it. It's a very interesting point. Agasur is a snake demon, right? Huge snake. And who is the brother and sister of Putana and Bakasur? Think about a family, raising family. Putana, Bakasur and Agasur. All three wonderful children. And he thought, this Krishna, he killed my innocent sister Putana. Come on. What is Putana? Putana is such a horrible demoness who was killing children. Not only killing them, drinking blood. And this Agasur, thinking my sister is very innocent and Krishna killed my sister, so I have to take a revenge. So Agasur set the first theme park in the world. So Agasur said, he opened his wide mouth and then it appeared like a huge cave and all Krishna's friends, and they all looked at the cave and said, we never saw this cave. We never saw this theme park yesterday. It just popped up today. Maybe Disney came and established here. So we all want to experience the theme park firsthand. But Krishna knew, hey, this is not a theme park. This is a demon. And before Krishna completes sentences, all the coward friends, they entered the cave. Because Rakshash Yat Iti Viswa. So they all knew whatever happens, Krishna is there to protect us. That is their faith. They just entered the cave and they saw everything was looking so different. Because Agasur's tongue was so slippery, it was like a big slide. They were just going in. And then Krishna understood, hey, my friends are there, I have to go. When Krishna entered Agasur, he waited for it and he closed his mouth. Krishna is Krishna. He expanded himself and choked him to death. Agasur is dead. A huge snake demon who was miles long, he was dead in a minute by Krishna's amazing prowess. And all the demigods who were watching there from the sky, they were all showering flowers. They were all so happy that Krishna killed this Agasur demon. And they were actually beating the drums, kettles. And in this way, this sound reached Brahmaloka. And Brahmaji was wondering, what is this sound coming about? Everybody was saying, Jai Shri Krishna, Shri Krishna Bhagavan ki Jai. Then he understood, hey, what is that? He came and asked, what happened? This Krishna, he killed Agasur. What's the demon? He's dead now. So Putana is gone, Agasur is gone, Agasur is gone. We are freed from these three, brothers and sisters. And then he thought, he killed? This boy is only looking 5-year-old boy, he killed? Hey, it is little hard to believe. Is he really killed? Let me test him. So I'm just, summarizing the pastime. It is a very lengthy, amazing pastime. Just to summarize, he thought like that, let me test him. So what did Krishna do? Now understand, Krishna is 5 years old. 5 years, first 5 years is known as Balya Leela. Krishna's pastimes, first 5 years is known as Balya. And then next 5, from 6 to 10 is known as Poganta Leela. And then 11 to 15 is Kaishora Leela. Right? Or Kamar, we say. Kaishora Leela. And after Kaishor, what is the Leela? That continues. Because Krishna is always Kishore. Right. So this happened at the age of 5 years now. So Brahmaji came. He wanted to test Krishna. Because he wanted to understand. So what did he do? He actually, coming back to the pastime. At this time, what Krishna was doing, and every time, after killing a demon, they would have amazing pastimes. So they went on a picnic that day. So everybody brought very nice foodstuffs from their home. So Krishna, along with his friends, they were all sitting in the banks of Yamuna and they were having a wonderful picnic. And everybody brought different kinds of plates. Some had a flower plate, some had a tree bark plate, different plates. We are stuck with paper plate, but they had such amazing plates. And everybody had such delicious foodstuff. So they very nicely organized it. And they wanted to give it to Krishna and give it to others. And Krishna sat in the center. And everybody was so amazed looking at Krishna's beauty. And everybody said, Krishna, my mother made this laddu for you. Please take. And someone said, my mother made this rasmalai for you. My mother made this for you. Like that, it went on. And they had such amazing pastime. And Krishna, he was holding in one hand. How many of you know what is masrana? What is masrana? Curd rice. Krishna had masrana kavalam. He had rice preparation with first-class yogurt, first-class curd. And he also had tat falena angulishu. Bhagavatam says so beautifully, he had amazing fruits, perfect fit for this masrana, this yogurt rice, stuck in the fingers. This is what Krishna had in his hand. At that time, these cows and calves, they were herding. And Brahmaji, he came and literally kidnapped all these calves and cows. And after some time, these boyfriends, they realized, Jai Shri Shri Radha Gopi Janavalla Bhagavan ki Jai, Jai Patita Pavan Gaur Hari ki Jai, Prabhupada ki Jai. They realized, Krishna, we are having a wonderful time. We forgot our calves and cows. We don't know where they are. Krishna said, don't worry, I'll go and find out. You all have a wonderful time. Continue to have. So Krishna in his yogurt rice, and fruits on his hands, and he was just walking by. And in the meanwhile, when Krishna came out looking for the calves and cows, Brahmaji came and took away all the covered boyfriends also. Everybody, and he kept them in a sleep. He made them sleep, literally sedated them and put them to sleep. And then Brahmaji came back. See, our time and Brahmaji's time is different. Our 1 year is one moment for Brahmaji. So in one moment he came back. Within the time 1 year has passed. But when he came back, he was completely amazed because he was seeing all the covered boyfriends are there, all the cows are there, all the calves are there. In fact, they were having the same wonderful pastime. It was continuing. Brahmaji thought about it. It's a very long, very amazing pastime. Some other time during time of Janmashtami, we can discuss it exclusively. We can discuss every detail. Very nice. So he came back and he was saying, same wonderful pastime is happening again. And he was bewildered. Did I really kidnap them? What happened? So he went back immediately to see. There are also all this, boyfriend, Krishna's covered boyfriends and all the calves and cows. They're all lying there. They're all sleeping. When he came back again, they're all here. How is that? Then Krishna, to bewilder him even further, all this, gopas, all these cows and calves, they all manifested this four-handed form of Vishnu. And each one of them, looking at having this wonderful darshan, Brahmaji immediately understood and surrendered. What did I do? I really played with fire. Why did I do such a grave mistake? He immediately surrendered to Krishna. And Brahmaji has how many heads? 4 heads. And 4 heads is looking all 4 directions. Bhagavatam says all the 4 heads were touching the ground. Immediately he fell like a golden rod. Sukadeva Goswami says he fell like a golden rod and all the 4 heads were surrendering and Brahmaji started saying prayers. I think it is the 14th chapter of 10th canto, is it Brahmaji's prayers? So all the first 40 verses, they're all prayers of Brahmaji. And Brahmaji's prayers are so exalted. He first glorifies Krishna. He first glorifies about how Krishna is so beautiful. And Krishna's beauty is even bewildering his opulences. Then he spoke about his opulences. Then he spoke about how these Brajavasis, they are so fortunate people. They get to be with Krishna and witness all these wonderful pastimes all time. And then he confessed that I did such a grave mistakes. Please forgive me, Krishna. Then Krishna forgave him. And then he circumambulated Krishna. He paid obeisances again. Then he was allowed to go back. So even that Brahmaji, who is a pure devotee, who is a Sampradaya Acharya, who is in fact the secondary creator of the entire creation, even for him, Krishna is bewildering to understand. Only if he surrendered, when he was able to understand, only he was completely surrendered, he could understand. Then he went back. So even now we are glorifying this Brahma Vimohan Leela. This Brahma Vimohan Leela is very dear to all the devotees. In fact, I think that is the last, set of chapter I believe Prabhupada translated, and then it was continued by the next 2 chapters were continued by the disciples of Srila Prabhupada. So the point here is, what is our situation? If we try to think that we can try to understand Krishna with our intelligence, is it possible? When Brahmaji, whose body is made of intelligence, gets bewildered, we are simply insignificant. Even we may have 10 PhDs, but that doesn't matter. We may be Maya Aparutajnana. If Maya is covered, we can't do anything. So, in our situation, not only for us, for everyone here, the only way is to surrender to a pure devotee and hear from them. When you hear from a pure devotee, when you hear the narrations of Bhagavatam, narrations of Bhagavad Gita, then 7 wonderful things happen. So your heart is fully purified and ultimately you will be getting the love of God. And we have seen n number of examples, so many wonderful pastimes and stories in the Hare Krishna movement, that how devotees, being in different situations, when they surrendered to a pure devotee, their life was completely taken care. One classic example is His Holiness Srila Jayapataka Swami Maharaj. Jayapataka Swami Maharaj, who is most glorious. And many of you may be aware that Maharaj has a health condition, which is very difficult for us to even understand. And this happened in 2009 or 8, I believe. First time Maharaj had a stroke. It was a very severe form of stroke. I work in healthcare. We definitely understand what a stroke can do. Can create havoc in one's life. But everybody thought that's it. It'll be difficult. But Maharaj survived the stroke. He continued to preach. And Maharaj continued to not only preach, he literally saved thousands and thousands and thousands of devotees across the world. Once the Vishwa Hindu Parishad leader, 15 years back, he announced in one of the public meeting announced, Jai Pataka Maharaj, through his amazing tireless service, he literally saved the entire East Coast, basically, because it was on the verge of converting. Because of him, Krishna consciousness is flourishing in many parts of India. Because Jayapataka Maharaj surrendered to Srila Prabhupada and he was ready to do whatever Prabhupada said. Most of us here, we were all either was in the process or in the process of aspiring for green card and later citizenship. Jayapataka Maharaj, he voluntarily gave up his US citizenship and they were literally pleading to get Indian citizenship. And this is another amazing thing. How they got it, it is all unbelievable actually. Now, they worked so hard because India doesn't have a permanent residency program. They don't have green card program. There is no possibility to get an Indian green card. But they were working so hard. Many times they approached. Finally, by Prabhupada's mercy, they got it. They arranged a meeting with Indira Gandhi and Prabhupada convinced her because that is the time I think Mujibur Rahman was assassinated. So she was also very perturbed. But by Prabhupada's divine presence, Prabhupada not only gave comfort to her and he literally helped getting, this permanent visas for all these devotees, by which they could serve in India for a long time. And the person who helped in the process was Mr. I think Vajpayee, I believe, to get permanent visas for all these devotees. And Prabhupada said about, when he heard about this is the person who helped in getting them permanent visas. At that time, Prabhupada said, one day, this Atal Bihari Vajpayee, Mr. Atal Bihari Vajpayee, he will become one of the big leader in India. And this happened in 70s. Later, no one was expecting, and this happened. Vajpayee ji, he became Prime Minister of India. And Prabhupada could see all these things before. And coming back to the point about Jayapataka Maharaj, it is a selfless surrender. It has not only helped him, helping thousands and thousands, not only thousands, millions of devotees helping. So, coming back to the point. So, we all, towards the end of this year 2025, usually this is the time we take our own inventories. So, let us take our own inventory. We don't need to raise our hands. How did we, spend our time this year? What all did we do? Where did we move forward in Krishna consciousness? How much we remembered Krishna all in our activities? How much we accepted which are favorable? How much we rejected? How much faith we had? So it is time for us to take that inventory and then move forward, taking a wonderful resolution. Also, this is the month of book distribution. Just now Prabhuji was mentioning, in this month, December marathon, everybody is requested to do book distribution. So let us take this opportunity to take this mercy of pure devotee Srila Prabhupada to all possible people and help them so that their life also will be successful. So thank you all so much. I'm very grateful. I went slightly over time. Please excuse me. And if I spoke anything inappropriate, please excuse me as your humble servant. Thank you so much. Srila Prabhupada ki Jai. Any thoughts or reflections? Shyam Kishore Prabhuji will ask a question and you will answer it.
Very please accept my humble obeisances and your lotus feet. Please, bro. Amazing, bro. Very absorbed. Very, very inspiring. So, Prabhuji, Krishna says that he is always the servant of his pure devotees. And so you mentioned that how surrendering to the pure devotees is the secret to attaining Krishna's special mercy. So we understand that this ISKCON is actually Prabhupada's, not different from Prabhupada's body, and therefore serving ISKCON is actually not different from serving Prabhupada. So we also know that you are very expert in serving devotees, take care of devotees, the way you, your demeanor, your etiquette is very exemplary. So if you could shed some light on how we can please devotees, that would be very.
Those of you know who Shamkeshwar Prabhuji is? Shamkeshwar Prabhuji?
Please kindly answer the question.
Yes, ma'am.
Part of the answer.
Just by following what Shamkeshwar Prabhuji does, one can expertly do that. How we can serve devotees. That is a summary of the answer. But in detail, we can say, first thing, what I understand, how fortunate we are. That is the first aspect. Once this question was asked to His Holiness Radhanath Maharaj, he was asking, he answered a very beautiful way. See how rare devotees are. What is the world's population? Practically close to 7.6 or 7 billion people. And this lecture happened in Mumbai. I think probably about 2 crore people. How many are devotees? Probably 10,000 devotees. So what is the ratio? 10,000 to, 2 crores, which is 20 million, right? And that much rare. Let's come back to our Farmington Hills. Farmington Hills is a population of probably about 60-70,000 people. How many are devotees? Probably 300-400. How rare we are, each one is. How special each one is. So in that case, when we know how special each one is, and individually we know about ourselves very well, and how each one is. And I would love to take this opportunity to glorify each devotee here, but considering the time, we will wait for their birthday or wedding anniversary to glorify. Each of them are far more exalted. They are light years ahead of me in their spiritual life, in their spiritual progress. And obviously, it is a wonderful opportunity to glorify them and serve them. And how we can serve them? In so many ways, Krishna says, Rupa Goswami says, in 6 ways you can surrender. 6 ways you can serve the devotees through loving exchanges. And more importantly, serving is like, what I understand is, serving is pleasing them. What pleases them when we do that, it's called service. Like yesterday, Nandini Ketan Prabhuji beautifully said, and he gave wonderful examples also, by pleasing them. What pleases them, it is different for each one. So we know what pleases Shamkeshwar Prabhuji. You come for Mangalarati, you chant very nicely, and you serve very nicely the deities, you will automatically be pleased. Nothing. He doesn't ask anything for himself because he has such a pure heart. What he wants is, if you please Krishna, you will please me. Similarly, by doing this, that's how I understand that by serving what pleases them. Is that okay? Sorry, Prabhuji. I don't have a specific answer for, but this is what is my understanding. Thank you, Prabhuji. His Grace Shamkeshwar Prabhuji ki jai. And his wonderful services ki jai. If no other comments, we'll end here. And once again, wishing you all a very happy Krishna conscious New Year. We pray to our Lordships to bless each and every one of you and your extended family with healthy long life. And may our Lordships bless you and your family with all auspiciousness. More importantly, pure loving devotional service to them. Hare Krishna. Srila Prabhupada ki jai.
Grace Kadam Kanana Prabhu ki
Jai. Ananta Koti Vaishnava Vrinda ki jai. Devotees in Zoom. We will end the call now. Thank you all so much for joining. Hare Krishna.